Okay, this is another checkpoint video for my upcoming game, synSpace Drone Runners for Android. This weekend, I worked on some map issues. You'll notice right now we're on a map called Antares 7, and we'll go ahead and launch ourselves onto that map. And you can see I've reworked the thumb a little bit here, got the face on it for a bit. And if I do some text chat, I also added the face to that thing, to the scrolling marquee, and I just let it go right over the top. The other thing I wanted to say was I have this new thing called the script window. This now has 3 tabs along the top. The log window, these are logs of interesting things that have happened. Generally speaking, script-related things. Most of these logs actually came from the script itself. And so you can see it's really excited that it was able to do it. Then this shows me the source of the script, the source code of the Lua that came from the StarMap file. And then if it encountered any errors, the final error, the last error, is saved here for you to look at. And this is what I really want to work well so that you can have joy in your coding. But anyway, so this was Antares 7, and it works great. Over here on my Google Drive, I have another star map, and it has, okay, so as you'll recall, star maps are INI files, so they have these square bracket categories and then a series of name equals value pairs. Well, the last category is going to be called script, and after that, there's no more INI file, it's all Lua. And as you can see here, I just have some simple stuff that doesn't even do anything. But it's syntactically correct. But I intentionally added an error here, and I want to be told that I have an error there so that I can then fix it. So what I now need to do is I open Options and Import StarMap from Google Drive, and that lets me open the folder, select, and I usually synchronize. Oh, did I show that? I usually synchronize and then select, and there's this new message down along the bottom that it was successful. And now if I go to my map list, I'm still on Antares 7 myself, but is it that guy? Okay, maybe it is that guy. The server remembers, when you disconnect from the server, it kind of remembers the map that you were on. So I was using a map with a similar name earlier today, and the server keeps putting it in this list. But this is the one we want. Temp StarMap _1. This is the one that we just imported. And I confirmed that the map's actual name is Cygnus 18 test. So this is what I expected to find. That other entry is left over from a different demo. So I then say I'm going to explore the star map, and I connect to it. And sure enough, it's got the blue sun. That's a clue that it really did use my star map, that I changed the sun to blue. It's got the right tag name, and because it's called temp star map, it's only in memory. It won't record it to your local database, so it won't get recorded to disk, as it were. So I can develop it, and if I go into a star map instance on a server and meet up with other people, they can fetch it from me directly, and we can play it, and I can modify it, and they can fetch it. I can modify it, and they can fetch it. I can re-import it, and they can fetch it. I can re-import it, and they can fetch it. Until I have it the way I like it, and then I can clone it, and at that point it gets its official asset tag with my serial number and my creation ID index, and then it's releasable and can be saved to disk, as it were. Anyway, but I wanted to show you that same script window that we looked at before. What did I do? Oh, I have to be in game to see it. Not sure why. I think it's a bug, probably. So you can see my log's gotten a little bigger. It's still not big enough to need to be scrolled. Oops. See how that? I've been having trouble getting this demo to go, but I think we can resolve this pretty quick. Done it enough times. So we'll go back to Antares. And then we will proactively delete the weird entries on this list. Okay. There are no weird entries on this list. I agree. There are no weird entries on this list. Okay, so I'm gonna explore the star map again. We were already in it, but when you're paranoid, you're paranoid. Look again. Any weird entries? So you see the server is remembering this guy, but it's StarMap 2, so just remember that, and we'll continue as if it weren't a concern. Okay, so now I've written this other star map over here on my Google Drive. And we already talked about that, right? Yeah, yes. This is the same video. Anyway, so we're trying to import that and get the file. So come over here, and we import it, and we tell it where it's from. And I'm not going to bother to sync it because I haven't changed it. It worked. Oh, and let's just go straight to the script window where... Hey, the log can scroll now. Oh, great. It's ugly. So we can see it's not the new source. That's the old source. Is this demo failed also? Oh. Oy. Oh, I'm still in Antares. Okay, I imported it. This is StarMap 2. That's not it. The one you imported is always at the very end. And unless something is going strange with the server, the first one you import is _1. The first one you import in a given play session. And temp is the name. So we select it. And now we explore it. And we see the proper data. And now we launch our drone. And now we open our script window again. Open our script window again, and we look at our source again, and sure enough, the source is the new source with the force and error here in it. And we look on the error tab, and sure enough, it found an error. But this is what it tells us. And I've talked on and on at length about this. But the exception that it throws includes some seemingly random amount of the source of the script, in this case the first 3 lines, not always the first 3 lines. And then, there's some syntax that is kind of understandable and kind of gets you the feeling that these are colon delimited fields and that the second to the last field is the line number where the error was, and that therefore the error is probably in line 11. If I go to the source, coincidentally, line 11 is exactly right. That's exactly where the error was. So whoop-de-woo, it worked perfectly, except that it doesn't always work perfectly. And that's what I need to have work. Anyway, but now at least I can go back and forth between these things. I'm not sure. Oh, whoa, hey, I crashed. Anyway, that's okay, because that's all I really wanted to show you. Thank you. The end.